turning them up, but I may be
Just turned
wrong.
6:30.
Oh, look, y'all are like, oh,
According to now 6:30.
this is out.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Now it's 6:30.
All right, Stephen, you ready? Yes, sir. All right. All right, good evening. Welcome to our City Council meeting September 25th of 2023. We're glad you're here. I know this is not a normal day for a City Council meeting, but this was determined early on at the beginning of this year. So first, we'll start off with the invocation and pledge. I believe Councilmember Fulmer is going to take care of it tonight.
You're welcome to join me in prayer. Thank you for another beautiful day in Clemson and all the wonderful fall weather we've enjoyed lately. Let us remember how fortunate we are to call Clemson our home. Help us as a council to always listen and hear what our residents are saying as we try to do what is best for our community. Let us never forget those affected by human and natural disasters, and let us be thankful for all the volunteers that continue to show up and help us in our community. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go straight into public session.
All right.
Councilmember Smith will take care of this. You're looking out in the audience.
Good evening, everyone. This kind of reminds me a little bit of COVID days. But anyway, good evening, everyone. This is an opportunity to come and speak with us about any issue or concern you may have that's not already on the agenda as a policy item or other action item. So this is an opportunity. You have 3 minutes to speak. We ask that you state your name and your residence for the record, as well as sign your name and your residence on the sheet at the podium. So this is your opportunity. I always say, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Not all at once.
Maybe not forever. Maybe
Yeah.
Not forever,
until the next meeting. We'll
For 2 weeks.
All right.
Do you want to read the comment?
I do. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I do have one comment, unless I missed some others that was provided to me. Go ahead and read that. I have to take my glasses off to read. So. Good afternoon. Hosan Faradin submitted an online comment for public session. We're terribly deterred every day by the vehicles whose mufflers have been modified in order to make loud and obnoxious noises. This includes souped-up cars, pickup trucks, and motorcycles. This is the most serious social crisis that should be dealt with. It seems that nobody cares much to address the issue. I would like to request you to revise the noise ordinance in a way that is effectively enforceable and also increase the amount of fines for loud mufflers to a level that prevents people from modifying their cars. Thank you very much. His address, he has Martin Hall, Clemson, South Carolina, Clemson University. That is the comment that I have. At this point, don't see if we have any other comments, and I will turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Next is the possible approval of minutes for September 18th. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of September 18th, 2023 as presented.
Second.
Comments, discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you again. Next is reports and discussion. First is to discuss a possible budget amendment to move funds budgeted in the local accommodations tax fund for Christmas lights to the general fund to be used for adding electrical outlets to the light poles on Highway 123 at the same time as converting the lights to LED. Leslie or Allie? Okay.
In the FY24 budget, we approved $40,000 in the local accommodations tax for Christmas lights. But before we can have Christmas lights, we must have electricity. And there is no electricity on the poles, no outlets. So Public Works is going through the process to convert the lights on 123 to LED. So it'll be the most efficient and cost effective to do it at the same time. So this would be moving the $40,000 that we had budgeted in the local accommodations to the general fund to use for that, for the outlets on the poles.
Questions, comments for Allie? Pretty self-explanatory, but okay. All right, I like it. Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. You're smiling over there, but okay. Next is staff reports. Andy.
Tomorrow night, you have Pickens County Municipal Association in Norris, and you also have Rock the Block. And they're both at the same time.
Choice.
So, yeah.
Choices, actually.
Choices, plural. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, cool. All right, next is policy action. Just remember, we do have the opportunity for a 2-minute limit per speaker if you'd like to discuss any of the ordinances that, or any comments on the ordinances that we are going over tonight. First is consider second reading of a general bond ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of special obligation bonds, hospitality fee, and hospitality tax pledge of the city of Clemson, prescribing the forms of bonds, providing for the payment of the bonds from the sources provided herein, creating certain funds and providing for payments into such funds, making other covenants and agreements in connection with the foregoing and other matters relating thereto. Andy, I just read it all for you. So,
The easy way of saying that is this is the ordinance that allows you to issue bonds to be repaid with hospitality fee and tax funds.
questions for Andy? Comments? Comments from the public? Stephen, you will always let us know, and I do greatly appreciate it. Would somebody like to make a motion? And you can pretty much say what I said, but no, I think you'd have to repeat it still.
Make a motion, we approve a second reading of a general bond ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of special obligation bonds of the city of Clemson, South Carolina, prescribing the form of bonds, providing for the payment of the bonds from the sources provided herein, creating certain funds and providing for payments into such funds, making other covenants and agreements in connection with the foregoing and other matters relating thereto, as presented.
Second.
Okay. Second, thank you. Comments, discussion? Opportunity, comments, discussion. All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. Next is to consider a second reading of a first supplemental ordinance providing the issuance and sale for the city of Clemson special obligation bond in the principal amount not exceeding $4,650,000 to defray the cost of certain tourism-related projects, authorizing the mayor or the city administrator to determine certain matters with respect to the bond, prescribing the form and details of such bond and other matters relating thereto. Andy.
This here is to approve the bond at the full amount and debt service payment of $571,031, $4.6 million, borrowing 10 years at 4.39% to fund the projects as described in the last meeting.
And we had the follow-up questions.
Follow-up questions are that if other grant opportunities come up, you can redirect this money to other projects that are similar in nature. And we also have some good feedback on West Bank.
Webster.
Webster. You received that information. I have Jordan here tonight who can answer any questions about the lender if you have any.
And our closing is expected October, like you
October
said?
6th.
Okay.
I think you said it, but we can invest the money while we're doing the work. We fully draw it.
For a short period of time.
But we fully draw it, and then while we're doing that, we can't invest it until we spend it.
And the big thing is it is maneuverable if it has to be, if other things come.
Yeah, that was a nice piece.
Clarifying question.
This one here.
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
I got my glasses. I can read it.
I can read it.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
sure.
you were gonna be gone, but you're here.
I was going to be gone. That's true. All right.
So you want me to read it?
No, we don't have
I can read it.
to. All right, sure.
This was to be shared from Mayor Halfaker if indeed he was not going to be here, but if approved, you want me to read this part right here?
Sure. Yeah.
We look forward to enhancing the quality of life in our city in a timely manner. The funds follow our vision statement and half of our key values as well.
If you look at our vision and value statements, you'll notice that a lot of these fit in very perfectly. So anyway, thank you for reading that since I couldn't see it, but I do have my glasses. So thank you, since I look at the, all right. Other comments, discussion? Anyone? Stephen, of course. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion?
I move we approve a second reading of the first supplemental ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of the City of Clemson, South Carolina special obligation bond in the principal amount not exceeding $4.65 million to defray the costs of certain tourism-related projects, authorizing the mayor or the city administrator to determine certain matters with respect to the bond, prescribing the form and detail of such bond, and other matters related thereto.
Second.
Comments, discussion from anyone? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. Next is, Chief, you're coming up. Consider a second reading of ordinance to amend Division 2 Police Department Advisory Board, terms of office, vacancies, compensation for the service terms of the Police Advisory Board's student member aspect.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. The second reading we talked about last time just allows us to keep the cycle for the board members to the school year, which is easier to fill for the two student positions.
Questions for Chief? If not, comments from the public? Comments from City Council? If not, would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the second reading of an ordinance to amend Division 2 Police Department Advisory Board, Section 2-65, terms of office, vacancies, compensation for the service terms of the Police Advisory Board student members.
Second.
Thank you on both. Comments, discussion, comments? Not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you again. Next, we're going to consider first reading of ordinance amendment to Chapter 11 Municipal Utilities for current practices. Heather, did you want to add from last time on discussion?
I don't really have anything to add.
Okay. Mommy, let's.
Bob
was ready. Bob was ready.
For like a 15 or 20 minute explanation.
You did a great job the last time, so, you know, so there you go. If we don't have comments, questions from the public, Stephen, of course, will let me know. All right, would somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve first reading of an ordinance amendment to Chapter 11 Municipal Utilities for current practices as presented.
Second.
Comments, discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. Next is Mayor Council reports, comments, new business.
Well, I have a couple.
Please.
Felicia Rashad, for those who may not know, she is an actress, author, and will be speaking on October 10th at Clemson University. She will be reading her mother's poetry, so if you all have an opportunity, hopefully invite you all to attend. The tickets are $30 for the public and $15 if you are a student, so in advance.
Where is she? Where's the ticket? Brooks Center?
Brooks Center.
Brooks Center. Okay.
And also, I'll just add, there's flyers right when you come into City Hall on the right-hand side, so.
So that'll be a.
Was she there for Juneteenth as well? Was she that lady?
No.
Not the same one, okay.
This is Mrs. Huxtable.
Mr. Huxtable,
Oh, okay.
the Cosby Show, that's
She
correct.
practically raised me.
Married to a Marshad,
The TV, yeah, she
Former
raised
Minnesota Viking, see, that'll show my age, okay.
Minnesota Viking.
Yep.
Now he's a commentator, he's a sports person. So yes, that is a great opportunity. And the only other thing I wanted to add, thank you all for the recognition for our Hispanic and Latin Heritage Month, but I wanted to know if we also wanted to recognize an individual, just as we do with the other months, for their contributions to the community. And if so, we can seek nominations, or if we know someone in the community that would be ideal. We have at least 2 meetings in October where we can make those that recognition to members of that community. So I think this would be a great opportunity to do that. So if all is agreeable, then we can seek nominations, or you can, if you know someone, just submit that information and we can make that recognition. Okay, that was all I had.
Cool. Any other comments? All right, would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Comments?
All right.
So moved, all right. All in